There is a giveaway in this video. Drop a red heart emoji down below and your Cash App, and you might just win you some money. The winner will be selected on Saturday. So drop a red heart, leave your Cash App, and I might just be sending you $50. Okay, let's get into the video. So Black folks are really figuring it out, okay? Amen. Amen. Black folks are figuring it out. So 19 Black families have come together and bought nearly 97 acres of land in Georgia to create a city. A city, y'all. They have sought out 97 acres of land in Georgia to create a city safe for Black people. Okay? This is a beautiful thing. It's time for us. It is time for Black people. It is time for those of us who are indigenous to these lands. Yes, the land of America. It is time for us to remember that we are sovereign. We can either keep fighting a system or we can create new ones from the ground up and take advantage of the privileges of being in and of the land of North America. This is the great return, okay? From Eatonville to Black Wall Street, Seneca Village, to what these 19 Black families are doing, Black people have always been and can always be and will always be a self-sufficient people. Everybody knows that the rest of the world honestly, truly learned pretty much all of what they know from Africa. That's the source. We know that. So we don't really need to rely on anyone other than ourselves. Okay, so how did these 19 families buy land to build an entirely new town? Let's discover Freedom, Georgia. Welcome to freedom, exclaims real estate agent Ashley Scott as she surveys the nearly 97 acres of land that she and a group of 19 Black families purchased in August. I'm hoping that it will be a thriving, safe haven for people of color, for Black families in particular, Scott says. The land sits just east of Macon in rural Wilkinson County, Georgia. Scott and her friend, investor and entrepreneur Renee Walters, did not initially plan on buying a large plot of land, but they had a vision that was clear: to create a safe space for their Black families. Being able to create a community that is thriving, that is safe, that has agriculture and commercial business that are supporting one another, and that dollars are circulating in our community, that is our vision, says Walters. A safe space. The unrest that took hold of the country earlier after the killings of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor at the hands of police and hit really close to home. With the shooting death of Ahmaud Arbery while jogging outside Brunswick, Georgia, this prompted the women to search for a new community, one they could start themselves. Watching our people protesting in the streets, while it's important, and I want people to stay out in the streets, bringing attention to the injustices of Black people, we need to create a space and a place where we can be a village again, a tribe again, Scott said. We wanted to create this space, this safe space, where we can address our own issues and concerns. The two wanted to launch an initiative that would create a new city founded by Black families. We both have Black husbands. We both have Black sons. And I was starting to get overwhelmed and have a sense of anxiety when my husband would leave the house to go to work, said Walters. So it was like, okay, what can we do now? And once I saw the post of Tomesboro going viral about a town being on sale, I was like, oh, this is perfect. Scott and Walters reached out to family and friends to see who might be interested in joining their effort. Together, they created the Freedom Georgia initiative to spearhead the purchase. They hope to incorporate the land they bought into a new black city called Freedom, Georgia. A town for sale? The ad Renee Walters saw had been circulating online, publicizing the sale of the town of Toomsboro. The ad eventually went viral. Scott said she got a call when her friend caught wind of the sale. She said, "Ashley, did you see the article about Toomsboro for sale? For the price of a small condo, we could buy a whole town for $1.7 million, Scott said. The website called Toomsboro for Sale was run by Tim Baumgardner, a developer who owned more than 30 properties around town. It is one of the few places where you can buy a whole town with every kind of building, including a historic inn, a syrup mill, an opera house, a schoolhouse, a railroad depot, a cotton warehouse, a restaurant, a barbershop, a water wheel, a grist mill, a workshop, a filing station, and several houses," the ad read. Turns out the town itself wasn't actually for sale. Joyce Denson, the mayor of Toomsboro, made that clear. "I've gotten calls from New York. I've gotten calls from North Carolina. I've gotten 10 calls from California," Denson says. "We welcome business. We want new people to come in. The thing that we want to make sure is that you promote and help keep the flavor of the community." After Scott and Walter discovered the town itself wasn't up for sale, Scott put on her real estate hat and looked for land in the area. They found acreage for sale just outside of Toomsboro in an unincorporated Wilkinson County. It was just such a beautiful piece of land. It was affordable, and it just made sense that we could create something that would be amazing for our families, said Scott. Here's a history of black cooperatives, or black co-ops. The combining of resources to create a collective or cooperative economics is not new, especially when it comes to black people in the United States. We have a very long history of doing cooperative economics, economic cooperation, creating our own communal towns, says Jessica Gordon Nembard, author of Collective Courage, A History of African American Cooperative Economic Thought and Practice, and professor of community justice at John Jay College. More recently, we've been establishing community land trusts, which actually give official land ownership to the community. Hobson City, Alabama, was the state's first all-black city, founded in 1899 after black were kicked out of neighboring towns. In June, that Hobson City residents celebrated Juneteenth with one simple message: Black towns matter, to celebrate the city's heritage. One of the earliest all-black municipalities was Mound Bayou in the Mississippi Delta. It was established by former slaves after the Civil War. Almost every society that had enslavement also had marooned societies, says Gordon. They set up their own communities and start to farm it together, create a town, run the town, work collectively as much as possible, and basically have a secluded space that was totally community controlled, and a way to be away from slavery. There's so many former black cities, said Scott. We hope that we can be one of those as well. Scott and Walter say they've gotten questions about why they want to create an all-black city. Their response? It's something that has been done for generations. It's impossible to have anything exclusively black because our families are integrated, says Scott. We are an integrated, tolerant, and diverse community, even as black people. So we don't intend for it to be exclusively black, but we do intend for it to be pro-black in every way. Creating a legacy. Scott and Walters plan to develop the land in phases. The first phase includes clearing the land, farming, and creating a man-made lake for sustainable fishing. At a ribbon-cutting ceremony, Scott said while they didn't know the exact history of their plot of land, the symbolism of reclaiming this land gives them an opportunity to write their own story. They hope to grow within a few years. By the end of their development plan, they hope to have a fully operational, self-sufficient city, putting Freedom, Georgia on the map. The land, which is about 2 hours southeast of Atlanta, is a blank space for now. Walters and Scott envisioned it as a retreat center that will eventually include a tiny home retirement community and homes for the founding families. We don't intend for it to be exclusively Black, but we do intend for it to be pro-Black in every way. Jessica Gordon, an economist and an expert on Black cooperatives, said, "I've found tremendous benefits to individuals, families, and the communities that are involved in it, including the economic stability and prosperity, but also leadership development, social capital development, other kinds of human capital development. And so it's really a win-win for everybody involved to be involved." The owners hosted the big Black campout over Labor Day weekend in 2020. Supporters drove in from across the country. By being able to create a community that is thriving, that is safe, that has agriculture and commercial business that are supporting one another, and that dollars circulating in our community, Scott said, that is our vision. To be able to pass this land down to my children and to the children that are represented by each of our 19 families as a piece of legacy. We're hoping to create legacy. Black people are figuring it out. It's time that we are cooperative. It's time that we pool our money. It's time that we look at who has a skill and who has another skill in putting all of our hundreds of thousands of tens of millions of skills together and working these skills within our community, creating our own type of equality, our own type of equity. It is time for us to make our own spaces. We can continue to fight a system, or we can take advantages of the privileges that we have.
My name is Sunita Cherie, and I'm the owner and founder of Cherieco Candle and More. Cherieco isn't just a candle company, it's a daily lifestyle, a luxurious experience that caters to self-care and self-appreciation with aromatherapy products and now a body line. I hope you find your signature aroma with Cherieco, and don't forget to self-care the next one.
Today's video is sponsored by Cherieco. Use code KIM25 for 25% off your entire order. Own type of equality, our own type of equity. It is time for us to make our own spaces. We can continue to fight a system, or we can take advantages of the privileges that we absolutely do have by being in North America and create our own systems, our own self-sustainable lands, counties, cities. We are sovereign. Nobody has control over us other than ourselves, and these 19 families have figured that out. And now that you've heard this message, you have figured it out. Many blessings to you. Ashe. Don't forget, leave a red heart emoji down below as your comment and your Cash App name, and I might be sending you $50 on Saturday. Many blessings, peace and abundance to you, and thank you for listening to today's message. Make sure you thumbs up this video, leave a comment down below, tell me your favorite part, and let me know what you're going to do now that you understand you are a sovereign state, a sovereign country, all of your own. Okay? Rise up. It's time.